Well, good evening and happy 4th. Thanks for joining us here. I am Rolly Hoyt. Faith has the holiday off. As you gear up for your local fireworks celebrations out there in west of Little Rock or wherever, many here in downtown Little Rock are already getting their spots secured. TH11's Catherine Rowley live at the Rivermark. 4 pops on the river, expected to be the biggest in the area. Catherine, how's the crowd looking as they stream in there?
Well, Rolly, first of all, happy 4th, but second of all, it is starting to get pretty full. We've been seeing people with blankets, their chairs, all getting ready for what is expected, like you said, to be the biggest fireworks show in the state. Now, I will say there's a lot of really good food that I can smell from different vendors. There's also some lemonade to keep you cool because it is pretty hot out here. But the band's playing and people are getting ready to kick off or end their 4th of July with those fireworks that are happening in just about 3.5 hours, expected to happen around 9:30. That's all we kind of have from here right now. But again, those fireworks will be at 9:30, and I'm sure you can probably see them from all over Little Rock. So Rolly, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, Catherine, thank you very much. And in addition to the show there on the river, there are celebrations of all different shapes and sizes around the region tonight and throughout the weekend. For a full list, just text the word fireworks to that number there, 501-376-1111.
It's been a hot Independence Day here in Central Arkansas, but really not too bad compared to last year at this time when the high hit 99. Today's high, 92 at Little Rock, and we'll be in that zone as we go into the next hour or so, and then we'll start to drop down into the upper 80s by 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, dropping down into the low 80s. And you see, I'm expecting dry conditions here in Little Rock and most of Central Arkansas. Now, there are a few showers just off to the west, though. Here's a radar loop, and we have a line of some downpours that have been developing right over Lake Hamilton, just on the outskirts of downtown Hot Springs. So this could stick around for the next hour or two, and I think that's going to be the best spot on where there could be a few downpours through the course of the evening. Temperatures 80 in Hot Springs because of that rain-cooled air. It's 90 in Clinton, 92 in Pine Bluff. And here's what it feels like out there with the humidity. It feels like almost 100 in Arkadelphia. It feels like 96 here in the capital city. I'll let you know what to expect for the rest of your holiday weekend coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. It's not every day you see horseback rides, free food, and bounce houses all packed into one Little Rock City block. But this 4th of July, 2 local nonprofits coming together to make that happen for hundreds of kids. They spent the day running through an inflatable obstacle course. You can see they got those first horseback rides, and every 15 minutes there were prizes announced from Raising Cane's, Main Event, or Movie Tavern. The two groups, called Raising Your Limits and the Views Organization, launched this free festival 3 years ago, and their recipe right now is on-hand resources, live music, 100 free kids meals, and a whole lot of joy. 4th of July festivities also got off to an early start this morning in northwest Arkansas, Greenwood to be specific. And tonight, Jacob Luthi recaps the opening act on a full slate of Independence Day celebrations.
Before the food, fun, and fireworks, Greenwood residents hit the streets for their 47th annual 5K run, one of the longest running events of its kind in Arkansas.
I love all of it. I love all the people that's here. I love the runners. I love seeing the spectators that's here to watch it.
Race director Randy Davis says this year's event saw the largest turnout ever.
This is really unusual to have these kind of numbers on a Friday. So not only did we set a record for the race, most entries ever, but it's also most entries ever on a Friday. So we're really excited.
But the race was just the beginning of Greenwood's Independence Day action. The city is also hosting one of its largest Freedom Fest events to date.
This is really our Super Bowl.
With the later start time to help people beat the heat, plus more seating, food trucks, and bounce houses for the kids, Greenwood's Parks and Rec director Casey Craig says this year's Freedom Fest is all about making the experience better for everyone.
It gives us a chance to give back to our community, and also gives the community to come together and hang out with one another too.
And don't forget about the fireworks. Craig says the city puts on one of the best shows in the region.
We've done our best to have the largest show in the area. We've worked really hard with pyrotechnician to have really come up with creative ideas and just make it cool.
An Independence Day tradition in Greenwood that brings community together year after year.
We have a committee of community members that come together starting in January. So we take community input to organize the event, which is another cool aspect.
Jacob Luthi reporting for us up in Greenwood there. Now, for some of us, today is all about that big fireworks display. It might not necessarily be the case, though, for certain military veterans. For those with PTSD, a group called Silent Salute have tried to set up an alternative. They provide low noise explosives that have the same visual appeal without the loud boom, giving those vets a chance to celebrate the nation's independence alongside their friends and families.
We tried to pinpoint those exact sounds and then ask the manufacturer to leave those exact effects out of the fireworks. So I thought it would just be big booms, but it's actually not. It's actually a lot of times the crackle. And
they don't just work for veterans, they also work well for pets. Brumbach there says quieter fireworks is something she's working to continue to develop as they look into the future. And like most holidays, while we're out celebrating, local law enforcement will be working hard to keep us safe. There's no bigger gathering to watch fireworks than the Macy's event in New York City, and Nikki Batiste got a rare look at how the NYPD is handling security.
Before fireworks light up the sky tonight in New York, the city's police department is working behind the scenes and even at sea to keep people safe. Rebecca Weiner is the NYPD's Deputy Commissioner of Intelligence and Counterterrorism.
What's your plan going into this holiday?
So this is a significant deployment for us, second only to New Year's Eve in Times Square.
We took a ride with her on one of the many police boats monitoring the river.
In the Intel and Counterterrorism Bureau, we are protecting the city from land, of course, also from the skies, and importantly, given the nature of this event, from the sea.
That includes scanning for potential radioactive threats like dirty bombs with onboard sensors.
All the radiation sensors that we have are capable of detecting even slight anomalies with radiation. That includes gamma radiation, that includes neutron radiation, which would be typical components to possibly have a dirty bomb.
Millions are expected to gather along the East River for tonight's fireworks, but it comes amid increasing tensions overseas, particularly in the Middle East since the start of the Israel-Gaza war.
What's your biggest concern this holiday?
So this is a really complicated threat environment. It has been heightened since October 7th. There's always the concern around lone actor threat.
The NYPD says it's deploying thousands of uniformed officers on the ground and a heavy presence in the skies.
To people who are worried about being in a crowd or out in the city on the holiday, what would you say?
You will see an enhanced police presence. We're here to keep you safe, so that you just have to focus on looking at the fireworks.
The Brooklyn Bridge will be closed for much of today. The fireworks display will launch from 4 barges stationed along the river. So far, the NYPD says there are no known credible threats to today's celebrations. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, New York.
It's a rinse and repeat scenario on your Saturday. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer though, highs low to mid 90s, and there is a small chance there could be an isolated pop-up shower storm. Most locations will stay dry. Got a few showers showing up on live radar at this time. I'll have a look at that and talk about your rain chances going up on Sunday coming up.